What is going on, people? Happy Wednesday. We're back. Always happy to be back. Hump Day, Wednesday. Let's get it. Ready to see if this market's going to present some more opportunities today. Feeling really good this week. Off to a good start. Some small winners Monday. Really nice. Some small losers on Monday. A really nice winner yesterday, and I want to try and keep it rolling. So, in order to do that, we have to start with the disclaimer, and then we'll keep it moving. So, let's knock this out real quick. Good morning, welcome. I think this is the right one. It's all the same thing anyway. A disclaimer, trading any financial market requires a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. You should only trade with money you can afford to lose. Proper risk management is essential in trading all financial markets. If you do not have an understanding of proper risk management, it would be best to educate yourself further before beginning to trade. The content I provide is for general information purposes only, as well as entertainment, and should not be interpreted as advice, investment, financial, or otherwise, as I am not a financial services provider. However, if you choose to follow along with any of my trade positions, please know that you do so at your own risk. I'm going to have it memorized one day. I swear I will. Or I'll have something close enough that I won't have to read, but I think that gets it going. CJ, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon. I think your afternoon. How are you doing, my friend? How's your day going so far? Thanks for being in the stream. So let's talk charts. G, yo, what's up, G? Good morning. How are you? Very early morning for you. So, well, let's start with what we did see yesterday. Really nice winner here on EA to the downside. Just completely fell. And then all the rest of the day through Asia, through London, this thing has just been like correcting, question mark. Is it doing this again? Correcting? We'll see. We shall see. Let's move out. Still below this 50 on the 4 hour. EA to come lower, CJ. All right, let's see what we say. You can see we're still holding this 50, kind of came up and now it's just consolidating. You're still in a selling condition. This could be like a double top on this TDI and then maybe a rollover, but we can't speculate yet what's to come. On the hour, it kind of came up. You're holding. So let's just continue to watch and wait because it's not completely giving me a sell just yet, but overall trend, as we've been saying, is down. We've got this little kind of ascending channel that it's having trouble with. Looks like you're making lower highs here on the 5 minute as you came up, kind of 1-2 triple topped, a lower low, a lower high. Now it's like a double bottom, but this is also kind of a lower high. So let's see what happens. It's kind of a stretch. We'll just go with this. I think this makes sense for right now. Keep an eye on it. I would love to catch it down. Take it to the downside again. AU, start at the top now. Yesterday on the daily, AU kind of it came up and then came back down. Today it's flat. You're still looking very much in a buying condition. You're hitting the trend line, so we're going to have a reaction with that. You can see you're still in a buying condition here on the 4 hour, right at the 50. Rejection the last hour. Maybe you see this come to the upside, kind of holding maybe square on the hour. Kind of like dropped into the zone. And now you've got like this little square going on. See how this candle dropped it in and now it's just been consolidating. Yeah, so it's a little choppy right now, but definitely potential to the upside on this. And we'll see. It's definitely a little choppy, so I want to see it break out. And then we'll see if we can get like a retest on it. EU. This thing is just struggling. It's trying to come higher. Much like AU. It's kind of like, but AU looked, now AU and EU look pretty similar on the daily. Nah, don't do that. I hate when it does that. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I gotta reboot it. For some reason it like zooms and I don't know how to fix the zoom. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, so as we were saying, looks really similar to EU on this daily. The 4 hour is still pretty much in a buying condition. You kind of like double bottoming. Same thing, a little bit of rejection, but also a little rejection to the upside. That's why you see that consolidation going on. But you would like to try and stay with this trend, which is to the upside. Definitely really, really similar. Wait, I just did AU. Sorry, this is confusing me because it lost all my stuff that I was looking at. All right, we're saying kind of like that, kind of square. Now we're at EU. EU was similar to AU. You're still trying to keep this in this buying condition. Kind of hitting a zone, I guess, that I had drawn, but you could see you're gonna get a reaction with this TDI. Is it this RSI on the TDI? I can't talk today. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. You're gonna get a reaction with this trend line on this TDI. You see they're about to meet. It's definitely a little choppy as well, kind of double top. See if it maybe comes back into the zone, finds support. I'd still like to see it come higher, but I'm not completely sure on that one. EA, we were saying we'd like to try and see it come to the downside. But again, you're also going to have a reaction with this trend line pretty soon. You are in a selling condition on the 4 hour, so we'd like to try and stay to the downside on it, but you are getting some momentum at the moment to the upside on the hour chart. We'll see. See how it kind of coming up. You're getting a little bit of a push. I had this thing drawn. It didn't save it because I closed out my trading view too quick, so I wasn't able to save it. So it could just be coming up to hit this again. We'll see. If it comes back into the chop, maybe it chops. GJ ran away yesterday, like legit. So that's a really nice, as you can see, this is the same type of thing that we talk about over and over again. Came down, kind of double bottomed through a bullish engulfing, but we say that a lot of times when it's kind of an extended candle like this, sometimes you see a little correction, sometimes you see a little bit sideways. This did a little bit of both. Wick down, ended as a hammer, sideways, then you got the push. So now we're kind of up and above and through this trend line. We're rising. I'd like to stay with the momentum to the upside on this if we can. We have to let it settle first. You can see it kind of made a lower high here at the moment. Came up, tried to come up, came down. Let's keep an eye on it. Make sure that this isn't a lower high right here. And then it's going to come short. You see what I mean? Like it was a little bit divergent. And then it kind of corrected and came up. But this failed to break highs. You see what I mean? Like this is kind of a shitty draw. But something like this, like where it came up, corrected, take the buy back to try and check these highs. It doesn't get past these highs. Now it makes a lower low. Now it makes a higher low. Is this going to find support to move higher, or is this actually falling off a little bit? Again, we want to stay with this long bias, but that doesn't mean that you can't have a day where it comes down. But let's just stay with the long bias. Let's see what happens as it hits this 50 and see if we can't find a potential entry to the upside. See what happens down here at this, like, yesterday's right at the changeover. Looks like it's fallen over right now though. It's interesting. Hey, Mohammed, what's going on? Glad to see you in the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's finish this up with GU. So GU is going to be, I assume, somewhat similar to GJ. He had this really nice push yesterday. You can see it was kind of like a reset again. Came up not as nice as GJ with that 3 candle, but then it pushed up again sideways, and then you get another push. So today, do you get the other push, or do you get a stall and then a push? I don't know. I don't like to try and forecast that, but you can see you're definitely having trouble here on the 4-hour. Sellers are coming in. This thing's falling down. It's failing to make a higher high. It's made a, a lower low. And this is, you can see like it just kind of kept hitting this area right here. And just couldn't break it. Double pin rejection. And now it's starting to push. So I'm not sure, honestly. Really not. But you can see the divergence here on the 1 minute. Went divergent and made like, and of course, whenever I see divergence, I also tend to see like a channel. Broke the channel, consolidated, just this looks and reminds me of EA yesterday. Broke the channel, consolidated, and then it kind of broke out. This is like a 3 candle right here. You're still in the box, but you're under the liquid. This thing's really taken off. You're under the liquid 50 here, and you're like falling through. So while it's still in the box, you could see by where this is set up on the TDI that this might be a better potential like igniting entry. If you didn't get this one, then maybe this one. And you can see this thing is just running probably to a full reset on the 1 minute, which would be the 800. It went through it. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, we see where we're at. We'd like to try and stay bullish on these, but we'll see how it plays out. EA, we definitely say we want to try and stay short biased if we can. Today is Wednesday. I don't like to say that a day has anything to do with it, but sometimes you can get reversals. Is this still in this correcting trend? Because you can see this didn't break for a new or a lower low yesterday when this, because it was correcting off the divergence, came up, came all the way back down, which it has every potential to do, but it never got lower. It pinned to it, but it never bodied lower. And now it's back in this correction. So is the uptrend correction still in play? Is that still a viable option that, hey, actually long is still a potential? I don't know. We'll just take it one candle at a time. We'll let the market move first. Jorge, what's going on? Good morning. How you doing? We're gonna see, man. Just watch and wait and let the market move first. No news today. 10:30, crude oil. But by that time, I don't know. We'll see. I could still be in the market. Could not be. Double top right here on EU on this 30-minute. You can see still in every bit of a selling condition. Let's look at the DXY too. I always neglect the DXY. Made a high here, came down, just kind of looking around. All right, let's check out the DXY. Dollar index. Come on. Man, I'm having issues today. All right, so you could see how we had this drawn before, and it was like through it, to it, down, through it, hold, hold, up, hold. All right, so is DXY actually finding this level of support right here? and trying to move to the upside. You can see it's very much still in a selling condition. Again, just like all the other USD pairs, this RSI and trendline are about to meet. Spima, good morning. How are you? Welcome back. Appreciate you guys all being on here. Thank you. You're in a selling condition. The RSI and this trend line are about to meet, so you're either going to get a fall through, continuing with this trend, or it's going to kick up, and then it's going to look like it bounces off the trend line. You can see you're getting a lot of rejection to the downside, so buyers are kind of stepping in, but you're still under this trend line. You're under the 50, so overall it's still falling. This is still a lower low, potentially a lower high, or a, yeah. I'm always getting confused with this terminology. It's a lower high. Right here, kind of this level back here as well. If I extend this backwards, you can see. Hits it, hits it, hits it, hits it. So maybe DXY is moving up, and that would potentially bring down these AUD, USD, and potentially GU pairs. And then EA might move up. We're not going to speculate too much. We're going to watch, wait, and react. I think that's the best way to do it. Let the market move first. I'm going to stay with the overall bias, which is pretty much everything to the upside except for EA. We'll see. But it's early. It's just 8:45. Haven't even hit 9 o'clock yet. There's still a lot that can go on. Like I said, no news really till 10:30. So we're just going to watch and wait. Let's get the same old instrumental tunes on here. So at least you got something to listen to. Spending so much time on these YouTube videos. If you guys, I think everybody has. If you haven't checked out the YouTube video, it's on my YouTube channel. It's the recap of this EA trade yesterday and how I was able to find this entry to the downside and capitalize. On a 5-minute, we're falling. You do have this low right here, but you're making lower highs, and it's just starting to fall into a selling condition. RSI is starting to come through the trend line. Let's not get too focused on a 5-minute chart, but you guys know how I like to do. If I see the structure on the 15-minute, I like to get low and get that nice tight entry and just try and dominate. Try and get a tight 15, 20 pip stop. Something like that. And then get to that 2R. Hey, Michael, what's going on? So after you're flat today, hope you have a great trading day. Thank you, brother. Good to be flat. I haven't looked around to other pairs, but just these 5 that I consistently trade seem like they're a little bit choppy, so not much here. But we'll see if we can get like a New York breakout. See if New York ignites some things. If not, we'll just stay flat and see what happens tomorrow. I'd love, I would love to catch another one today. Keep it moving. If I hit one today, I'm going to be up like $1,000 on the week. If I can catch another one tomorrow. I was trying to get as close to $2,000 this week as possible. That was kind of like my motivation, but I don't trade. That's like what I'd like to do, but I don't trade with that intent. I don't push trades to try and make that a reality. I just kind of put that out to the universe, and then I see if the market blesses me with these opportunities. So I had my mind on like 1,800 to $2,000 this week. I'm not anywhere close to it. I'm about a sixth of the way there. I think I'm up like 400 on the week after Monday's 2 little losers and then yesterday's winner. So, like I said, a winner today and a winner tomorrow, and I hit my goals. So, we'll see if the market wants to be kind, and if I can be smart enough and find a good one. This is a nice little 3 candle. Oh, I can't call it a 3 candle. It's like a 5 candle, but you get the idea. It's the same thing. Comes up, hits a level, and bearish engulfing. It's not quite through this liquid 50 yet, so that just means to me that potentially it doesn't have the momentum that I'm looking for. It's really all it means. Jorge says, do you always risk 15 or 20 pips or a set stop loss above below structure no matter if it's more than 20 pips? Thank you. My stop loss is always dependent on the entry. So with EA yesterday, it happened to be 15 pips back in here because it was based off structure. So the one thing that I do consistently do is I risk 2%. Stop loss varies, but it's typically, because I'm usually taking a lot of 5-minute entries, it's typically around 15 to 20 pips just because the time frame that I'm taking is really small. If I take a 15-minute entry, then maybe it's a little bit bigger, but with the way the market's been, that's been the case. So this was my entry yesterday on EA. It was this candle right here. You could see it was it came in to this descending channel, but it was also square. And then right here, it kind of came up, and at 9:32 it came down and closed. This was my entry. So I was in at 44.7, and I took a stop above structure plus my spread, so it was about 15 pips that I gave it. It's because I wanted to be above these pins right back here and some of these bodies. I have about a 3-pip spread on EA, so I took it like that. And then I went for 30, which is 2R. And you can see it just demolished. Here was 30, and it was just tapping, oversold, and I was like, I don't know. So I took it. I actually took it at like 27 pips, and it just fell to hell. So that's how I took it. So 2% is always what I risk, but the stop loss is dependent on structure and things like that. So if we get one today, I'll show you how I pick it up. If another lower high on EA, I'll probably get in on igniting candle. Yeah, it looks here on a 15-minute, you see it? How it's like holding pins back to this trend line, which again, these aren't, the end all be all. They're just rough structures, but we see that when we draw it consistently, time and time again, it keeps doing these things. So if you get like a nice 3-candle bearish engulfing, like I said, we are getting towards 9 o'clock, so I'd like to kind of let this open up and wake up a little bit. You guys know I don't always like to be early on my trades. I'd rather be a little late, but you can see it right here on the 1 minute. Look at this. Breakdown sideways, maybe more to the downside as it broke out of this channel. Down, sideways, down. 5-minute looks like it could be following suit. It's falling into a selling condition. I'm not sure yet. I got plenty of time in this day. I'm going to be a little bit patient. Because this thing hasn't even moved yet. So it's got plenty of juice if it's going to run. ADR to the downside from where we have been, which would be like here, is 40. But from where we are, you're looking at like 60 something. So there's plenty in ADR. If this thing really wants to get up and get gone, I could be a little bit late and still make it. Rejecting on the hour here. For the moment, see pins back. It came down, moved up, but closed bearish all the way down here. Opened here, moved all the way up. Now it's pulling slightly back down. Again, still in a buying condition. So I'm not getting multiple time frame confluence. I'm actually getting contradiction. So what that could also mean is consolidation. One saying up, one saying down, and they're not like being in confluence or complementing each other. They're contradicting each other, so it could be a little choppy. Capital, what's going on, bro? How you making out, man? Short EU, going for a little 20 pip win, trading to the 800 EMA, and I'm looking to go long on GU. Waiting to see how it reacts. All right, so you're liking GU to the upside, but you're down short on. I like it. We'll see how it plays out, man. I wish you well. Keep an eye on DXY. So And keep an eye on EU. They'll be inverse. So if this goes down, DXY will go up. Right now it's a little choppy for me. I do see the double tops. I see the potential for this thing to try and move lower, but I am trying to stay with this uptrend on the 4 hour. You can see how we're still trying to push up. Again, rejection both ways, to the high side, to the downside. I do want to try and stay with it, but I can't deny what I'm seeing. It is making lower highs here on the hour. So go watch and wait. See what GJ is doing. Yeah, it's a little funny today. So to me, I'm just going to be a little bit more patient. But I wish you well, bro. Keep me posted on this, and I'll keep looking at them too. And we'll see how you're making out with these different trades. Boom, 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 boom. I like a lot. Do you guys, can you guys even follow me with all these boxes and shit I have drawn? I know it gets messy, but like for me, it's kind of clear. I just don't know if you guys see it clearly as I do. GU tried to come through. It probably was through when that candle closed. That was really strong. So you're getting a little bit of a correction on it. Interesting. I'm not really seeing things too clearly right now. G loves the boxes. Thank you, G. Appreciate it. Yeah, my chart gets a little sloppy. That's why I also reduced those other two indicators at 800 and 200, just to make it, they weren't really that important to me. And they weren't really helping or doing anything beneficial to my trading. So what I really prefer to do is just draw my structures. It's either going to be like this, like a ascending channel or a descending channel, and then just boxes. I think since I've been doing that, and I don't know where I got that from, I guess it's just from different techniques and strategies, but ever since I've been doing it, I'm finding a lot of consistency, so I think I'm just going to keep doing it. If you turn on the 800 EMA and the 200 and 15-minute EMA, it looks like they're trapped between those two. Interesting. On Euro AUD, so, yeah. And it's funny because even without these um, indicators, I was coming to the same conclusion that it's sideways, that it's stuck. So again, EMAs are just representative of price action. If you can read price action, then you can understand what the EMAs would tell you. It's just a guide for those who I think are newer to the market and who need to be able to see structure or trend maybe a little bit better. I still love the 50 though, because I think the 50 makes sense, kind of important. It's how I hit that yesterday when I was looking at the 4 hour and saying, hey, look, I know when it hits the 50, sometimes you get the push off it when it's in a selling condition, when it's in a buying condition, and you're coming back and using it as support. So I like the 50. These ones kind of help me better understand like my 2 and 3 candle structures, I would say, these smaller ones, but don't know that I really need those either. But yeah, again, if you can read price action, you can understand where you're at. Me too, bro. Often the 200 and 800 used for higher time frame support and resistance. I've found to prefer to draw them. Yeah, and to each their own. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to trade. People trade with indicators. People trade with, you know, uh, the TDI. They trade with stochastics. They trade with volume. Fibonacci's, Gann theory. There's a million that I haven't even touched on. There's so many ways to make money in this market. I think the number one thing is to just make money. Just try and make money. Try and be right more than you're wrong. keep your risk in check and try and be consistent with your rationale for why you enter trades. And if you're consistently doing that, you'll have consistent outcomes. So on a 4 hour, kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So maybe a little bit of momentum on AUD to the upside. Hour candle, still choppy. They're very contradictory. This one's saying potential upside, but again, not through this liquid 50 here. Hitting this trend line, it could just peel back down, could reject it. I said that the RSI and the trend line were going to meet, something was going to happen. I just haven't figured out what that something is just yet, so that's why we'll need to be on the lower time frames to kind of figure that out. EU, again, kind of like AU, down, sideways, push right back up. Didn't quite clear the structure, but it does kind of look like it's trying to come through this liquid 50 and this trend line to potentially trying to come higher. You can see this last hour was like a hammer, came all the way down, closed up like this. It's kind of 50-50 for me because these TDIs are saying selling, but I think you might see this try and come higher. DXY potentially lower. Again, we're trying to stay with the overall trend. The higher time frame trends, those are the more powerful trends. While there is intraday trends and corrections, I think the more you can stay with the overall trend, I think you have a better opportunity, because at any time I think that can kick in. So we're having a little bit of trouble here. We're in a buying condition, or excuse me, we're in a selling condition here on your AUD. We haven't gotten through this trend line just yet on the 4 hour. It's pushed up, it's sideways. You're getting more just chop, up, down, no clear direction just yet on your AUD. On an hour, a little bit bullish engulfing, but again, you can see right here on this TDI, see how this trend line is falling? You're under this market sentiment. Trend line's falling. You haven't quite got through yet. It could push through in this next hour, and then that would be like potential to maybe take a long. But right now, to me, it's a little iffy, and we are trying to potentially stay with the overall downtrend. So I'd like to see it fall off and not get through that liquid 50. But again, you gotta let the market move first and dictate to you what it's doing. You're still holding technically this 50 EMA, so this could easily just push, but then it could push into the chop. So like we said, when we turned on the EMAs, if you're using those, you are in a range, so we're going to need a breakout. GJ is above. I would still want to stay long biased. It's still outside of this EMA. It's above this kind of structure, pinning back to these tops, potentially using as support. Not a really great 4 hour candle. It is weak, and we did say that it was potentially making lower highs, but I don't want to see, this is a really nice almost 60 in this buying condition. To me, that's pretty strong. Now you're going to need a candle up and through to potentially come back to like 135.25 and beyond, but I wouldn't want to sell it just yet. I'd want to try and stay with this uptrending momentum, even though it is at the moment making lower structure. I still want to stay with that until it fails one more time. If it fails again and shows bearish, then maybe we'll come short with it. But for now, I want to try and stay long on it. And GU, kind of the same, not as, yeah, see how they look really similar in a TDI? Remember we were looking yesterday at this? It broke through, and then we said maybe it comes back and retests these highs, and I was like, oh, it's only like maybe 10 or 12 pips away or something like that. Yeah, like 13-ish, depending where I grab it from. But it did come back, and it didn't body lower to it. Pinned to it, pinned through it, but it never closed the body, and now it's like maybe we're trying to work off of this still to the upside. Again, back at this high, if it's a break and then a retest and then more continuation, we'll wait and see. It's not, it's underneath this. You know how I'd rather be? I'd rather be above it. It's just more probable. So it's a little funny today. Things are not in confluence. A little bit of contradiction. So I'm just going to try and take it nice and slow and let the market move first. DXY maybe kind of coming back to, hits this low, comes up, breaks through it. Now you're kind of back to it. You can see right here at like 97 how it was like hitting. Now maybe you're starting to roll over. See how this looks like you're under it. I think maybe the cleanest I see so far is maybe this DXY trying to roll over. At least on a 4-hour chart. So if DXY rolls over, this is going to pump to the upside. It's going to be interesting. Anybody looking at anything besides these specific pairs that I consistently trade? Any Eurocads, any Swiss pairs? I hate Swiss pairs. Any other pound pairs? At DXY really, is it just me or does that DXY look like it's trying to roll over on this 4-hour? At least maybe come back to this down here. I guess you'd want to see it break this, but there's no reason. It's been rejecting. There's no reason it can't drive down and then pull up and you can make money in that time. This really looks like it's trying to roll over. I don't want to get married to it, but you could just see like liquid 50 falling, price is falling, trend line. It would be weird to see it hit and push because it's just in a selling condition. Anything can happen. I'm not going to say that can't happen. On the hour before, kind of up, 1, 2, 3, 4, bearish engulfing, sideways maybe, and then a push? Question mark? I don't know. The picture isn't clear enough for me just yet. Let's see what this looks like. You're below, maybe we can get a breakout and start a trend, because when you have all these EMAs together, and like I tell you guys, you kind of see that when they're together like this and you get that consolidation and they starts to move and the EMAs start to like peel out, in this case it was an uptrend, it's just like any other breakout trend on any time frame. So then if I'm looking at here, it's like, it's a little choppy. Is it starting to break out? Are you going to, come crash through these lows? I don't know. But I guess we'll see. It looks like it's starting to move lower. As I said, it looks like it's rolling over. So here comes EU moving higher, definitely. Wow, yeah, see? Capital, how you making out, man? I know you were short EU. So where was there an entry potentially? Maybe right here? Nah, this isn't really that clean. It's through right here at like 9 o'clock. I don't know that, to me, I don't know if that's the one I would have taken. But you see it's moving. We like the DXY to roll over. So we're going to try and stay with that. Yeah, see? This is starting to open up just a little bit. Again, just because it's starting to fall over short term. So if that drives AU potentially to the upside, then we're going to need to be keeping an eye on EA if that's the one we want to trade potentially to the downside. But right now, this is showing a lot of rejection to the downside right here. See? All these pins holding, trying to move higher. This is kind of in a buying condition. It's a weak buying condition, 52. So it's kind of reset, obviously makes sense. I think I'd like to try and stay short. Because if the dollar index is rolling over, then you would think that AU would try to move higher as DXY comes lower. Not as strongly as EU, clearly. But you would think that AU, EU, and GU would try and move up. Yo, FX next. What's going on, bro? Welcome. Nice to see you in here, man. How you making out? How you been? Haven't talked to you in a minute. I got a lot of familiar faces in here today, man. I'm happy to see you guys in here. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you're kind of hitting this area. Now, maybe this box is a little too chunky. Maybe it's more like this. Again, it's not exact. It's more of just a visual representation that helps me understand what's going on. But clearly, as we said, as we're looking at this 4 hour, now you have 4 hours in this candle, but it really looks like it's trying to roll over. So we should be trying to keep our eyes potentially on EU if we want to the upside. You can see you're trying to break out for a new high day, but you're having a little bit of trouble here. Everything's good? Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. Struggling a little bit right now. And it could be a choppy day today. It could be a little choppy. So we're going to let the market move, and then we're going to try and capitalize. Okay, so here's what we were saying. I've been ignoring GJ. We're saying on GJ that it's making these lower highs, failing to move higher. And we said that if it came down, see how it kind of broke down, comes up. If it breaks again, maybe we get that push that we're looking for. Maybe we can try and take it to the downside. We were trying to stay long biased with this because of what we're seeing on the higher time frames. But if we're failing to create higher structure, even if you're in a buying condition on this TDI, this is secondary. This is facts. This is supporting evidence. That's how I like to look at it, okay? So just because it's saying that it supports this going higher, if price says, no, I'm leaving, then the TDI will be like, oh, no, never mind, we're leaving. He's like the hype man, but he's like not, he doesn't know the plan. He has to wait for the price and the truth to come out, then he supports. So that's why when they work together, they work well. But I don't take this over price action. And that's just how I do it. Other people may see it differently, but indicators are supporting, they're not the truth. They're not the immediate truth, I should say. And especially this thing. This is, it's like a boat. How long does it take to turn a boat? It takes a lot of momentum to turn a boat. So you could look like you're going up right here, and you're like starting to move higher, but you never, and there's money in there, but it's not that true burst. So I always read price action over everything. But today just seems a little bit choppy. This candle's about to close in a minute. We're right back at the low of day. You can see pinning into this area. I don't know that this is divergent. They're even with each other, like, you know what I mean? Like it's chilling, like they're touching each other, but they are here as well, you know. This, like I said though, this looks like it wants to fall. So I'd be inclined. This is technically a new high a day right here on EU. GJ with a doji on the 15-minute. Let's see if we get a 3 candle. 1, 2, down. See how you're above this trend line? See if it like falls over and ignites. We'll see. Like I said, we are trying to stay with the uptrend, but it's failing to make higher highs at the moment. It could just push down. We'll see. Let the market move first and we react to it. EU. Like I said, new high day. AU trying to move higher. So then EA is trying to fall over a little bit. EA could be choppy too. That cross pair could be a little choppy. So I'll be cautious about trading that. This is a really strong candle. Like we say, strong candles, sometimes you get a little correction, sometimes a little bit sideways. So let's see if it doesn't find an area and come lower, or if it's actually going to move higher. 1.1300, 1.9 billion on an EU option to expire, Sapima says. 1.13, 1.1300. Oh, so the highs. Yeah, 1.1300 up here. Huh. Interesting. So maybe it's going to grab. I wonder if it's going to like grab and shake it out. If it's going to blast through it. That's a lot of money though. That's definitely a lot of money. Let's see what's going on. Right here, see how we had this strong kinda. Came down, broke out of it, went sideways, but it broke to the upside sideways. So broke, square, breaks to the upside, hits in here, now it's coming back down. See? Because it went like this, kinda. Like you broke into it, then you're kind of like square with it. Broke up and out. Now you're, look at, I mean, I don't make this up. 1, 2, 3, pinning to it. Is it going to continue to move off of it? Because in this condition, if we're looking to sell it, you see it go 1, 2, 3, down, retest, more to the downside. Is this going to come up, breaks out of the box to the high side, comes down, reject, reject, now more to the upside as the DXY looks to come and fall off? Should I be looking to take a long on EU? What just happened? Where did I lose? Or was that AU? What was the hell just happened? Oh, this is EA, excuse me. Thought I was looking at EU for a second. EA. And then EU. EU is starting to move. Here it is. Pushes up a little bit sideways. Do you get the next push up? Sapima making note of this 1.1300 area. If you're understanding of like options, he's saying that there's $1.9 billion in orders, like option orders at this level. Interesting. I don't know how to trade that quite yet and how to use that information to my advantage. But we'll just continue to play it by ear. The XY is at this zone right here. Let's see what happens when stock market opens. It's still really early. If the market's going to move, it's going to move first. Interesting though, right? Here at EA, broke, went square, came to the high side, pins. Now it's starting to move off of it a little bit to the upside. Again, I like EA to the downside, but we can't deny that we are in a correction of sorts. You know, up, down, still moving up. We want to try and let this correction play out. It could be, you know, reversing off of this bottom because it's making higher structure. This hour, like I said, this TDI is in a buying condition as they're starting to get momentum slightly to the upside. 15-minute is still in a buying condition, even though it's a weak buying condition. So let's see how price handles this area. GJ rejecting a little bit here on the 15. Remember we said it was like a doji. Let's see if it like kind of wants to close lower. We want to stay long biased on this based on the higher time frames, but you have to get through this trend line. I don't always like having to do that. You need a lot of momentum. But then here it's like supporting. It's like I said, a lot of contradiction. I'm not sure yet. The market has to move first for me. I don't want to jump the gun on any direction yet. Three candle, not quite through. It's liquid 50, but you can see the rejection. You can see the bullish engulfing kind of clears this level. Does it try and push? Is that enough of a move to get things going? It could be. I don't know. For me, I'm not ready to capitalize on that yet, but I'm trying to stay with this uptrend. Kind of shaking out here on the 1 minute a little bit, trying to come and retest these highs. We still got 7 minutes left in the candle. Let's make sure that it closes bullish and it's not just like a wick back down. Let the market move first. If the market is going to move, then we can get in on a correction on a smaller time frame. 1300 hit on EU. Yeah, I see it. Bang. EA moving up too. So interesting how on the 1 minute, right? This was like upward ascending channel, broke down, sideways, came up, triple pins, and then started moving more to the upside. It's back into this channel now. Five minute. You could see it was holding right here really nice. Might have pinned you out if you took this. But you could see how it was like holding this 50 and trying to move higher. DXY. Yeah. Stay with it, man. This looks like it's falling off. Right back into this area where I had issues on EU. Oops. Sorry, guys. We're right back up here at these highs. And if you draw it like from here, see these bottoms on the left? And then see how they kind of just something like that. Support, support, support through resistance, resistance, question mark. Pounds moving higher. GU moving higher. Yeah, because it's DXY is really falling off. I wonder, as AU moves higher, EA would move lower. So things are starting to wake up, which is nice. Now we need to be focused and try and decide which one of these pairs is the one. I would assume every time I say DXY looks like it's falling, I should immediately just click a buy in EU. I continually miss that. Where oh yeah, look at this thing. Really ripping. There's plenty of money to be made in here. It's like 20 pips. EU you can easily get in for like 8 to 10 pips. So that's a miss. There's a great read on DXY saying I really felt comfortable that this thing was just going to roll over on the 4 hour. So I should have been looking for longs on EU. So that's a mistake on my part. But stock market's just about to open. This day is just still getting started, so I'm not feeling like I missed anything. Just watch and wait. Three minutes. This could. We'll see. We'll see. Really nice push. Held that bottom here on the 5 minute on EA. And right here, this little double came up. Now it's pushing back up into here. Looking like it's trying to get through this TDI on the 15 minute. This is 5 minute. Right here, you could see it's starting to like move through it. Up, sideways, and now the next push. Let's see if we can get like another sideways and then maybe up again. If it indeed is going to come higher. Let's take a look at the 30 minute too as this candle, this time frame is closing. This might not be bad. I'd like to see it break up and above this structure through the liquid 50 to then potentially continue with our overall trend, which is high, like to the upside. We're trying to stay with that bias. You can see on the hour we're starting to build what could potentially be like a nice 2 candle if the momentum continues. So I'd like to try and, you know, not catch it early, but be ahead of that move and catch a continuation. When you look at it on the 15 minute, this could just as easily be like a double top and then a drop. Trying to stay with the long bias. Don't want to call reversal, but clearly making lower highs on structure. EU with the move. Came down, found a level of consolidation. Now it's coming back up. Stay with these trends, man. Stay with them. Here's a nice little push on EA on the 30 minute through double bottom, breakout, stop down here. Staying with this correction potentially. It's right at the trend line. Again, this isn't like everything. It's really nice and through on this TDI. 51, like a 10, 12 pip stop to try and hit yesterday's high. Really interesting. It's a nice push. It's pushing right back into this chop though. So I don't know if that's like a breakout. Looks pretty good. Ugh, I don't know. EU really strong. Right back to this level. I kind of like that move on EA, but I'm just not sure. Concerned about the pound as it's failing for the moment. Does look like it's trying to move up though. Anybody grabbing anything? Anybody find anything that they like? I'm having a little bit of trouble kind of identifying. $9:30. Stock market is open. Yeah, this kind of double bottom, sideways, strong push. Maybe get a little bit. I don't know. I really don't know. EU. Yeah, see, I missed it. It's a bummer. As soon as I'm saying this DXY is looking like it wants to roll over, I should be immediately looking for longs on EU. And I said that DXY was the clearest thing for me to read. So then I just got to find a really decent spot on EU to get long. But I don't know that I had really found one. I didn't really like it. That 5-minute candle I wasn't crazy about, but clearly it's a higher low, and now it's gone, girl. Beautiful. Just missed it. Money in the bag. Money in the bag. GA short. What do I think? Let's take a peek real quick. Let me look at this stuff real quick before I jump over there. Watch the lows. See how it handles the lows. It's coming off of this correction. Not correction. It's coming off of this. Was in an ascending channel. Broke down. Came up. Broke down. Make sure it's not a double bottom. Finding support to continue higher. But right now it looks like it's falling. Pound looks like it. Yeah, you can see right here on GU where it's like just right back into this like area. This could be where it's like breaking up and out of it. Like we said, we are trying to stay to the upside with like GJ and those pound pairs just because of how they look on a higher time frame. Really nice hold. Maybe right in here. Yeah, maybe that's a miss. Looked really good on a 30-minute. I probably could have took that. I think maybe, yeah, kind of like came up, came down, rejection, 2 candle, bullish. But I wasn't sure about this trend line. I'm okay to wait. Yeah, it's as AUD's ripping like this, EA is gonna fall off or chop. But I'm assuming EU is to the moon. Yeah, that was a really good one. 96.65 option hit number for DXY. Could have maxed out on. Yeah, they're both really oversold and overbought, respectively. Like I said, though, on the 4 hour, this thing was this was an easy read. Kind of came up, hold, looked like it was about to roll over, and just rolled over. I would imagine try and come back down. At least these pins, at least these lows, 96.50 would be my guess. Another 15 points. It's running, and potentially even lower to structure low, because if this closes strong like this in 4 hours, you might get more momentum over the next, hours. Yeah, I just whiffed it. It's a whiff. It's upsetting. But I don't know where would have got in at, really. Maybe here at this break for a new high day. Because I really felt strong about that DXY. So I just trust that if the DXY is going to fall to hell, this is going to skyrocket. Yeah, GJ is moving too, like we said, with the direction. So all of our directions are working out, like our higher time frame directions. So maybe I got to keep an eye on this for its higher time frame direction. This could still chop. It doesn't have to move. Well, let's see if we can get some type of, you get the impulse. Let's see if we can get a correction. 96.59 is the last number. Okay. It's a little frustrating. I just don't know where I could have got in on EU. But again, staying with this higher time frame, like I said, we're in a buying condition. I've been looking for this to make moves higher. I should just be looking for buy opportunities when possible. Like, yeah, I made money short on it, but I know that overall this thing's trying to move up. Six and a half minutes on this candle. See how it closes. I see what you're saying, Michael. In here. Down, kind of held. Yeah, because I really wasn't paying that strongly of attention to it. Yeah, I mean, your stop is like maybe 10 pips. It's gone 3R and still going. No catalyst. No news catalyst for that, just trend, just like Sapima said. 1.39 billion at that number. It just went for that number and ran with it. Whew. Man, it's a big miss. But as long as I can read it, if I can read it today, I can read it any day. Okay, you're really moving up. Man. Maybe I should have been more paying attention more to like this area down here. You know? Like that. See, it was like hold, came up, found support, and then kind of, it just didn't make a clean pattern in my eyes. I just didn't really recognize this candle to be, and maybe here for the high a day. No, like I said, I'm just trying to think of where I could have got in. Pockets, what's going on, man? Good morning, how are you? I just couldn't figure out where to get in. Like I really felt good about this falling off. So obviously you go right to EU then. Like, okay, well, if that's going to fall off, then this is going to rise because they're inverse. It's like, where can I get in? And this through like this kind of disconnected 3 candle. And we did say we wanted to try and stay long on these pairs, but just wasn't able to capitalize. But again, this day isn't done yet. It's not even 10 o'clock yet, so I'm going to try and stay focused. Let's keep an eye on EA too. This might just be a choppy pair today. I don't want to get caught in chop. Maybe this pull back a little bit. This did clear right here. But it hasn't, it's still failing to make higher highs at the moment. But you could say, like I said, you could see it come up, and then this could be the 2 candle on the hour, and I wanted to try and get ahead of it. You could see GU and GJ making like these nice, really strong 2 candles. So I said exactly what I was trying to do, and I still failed to capitalize that this could be the up, over, and then the next push. See if I can get in and capitalize on the push. This potentially would have been a good entry here. My spread is like 3-ish. I would have been in at like 6 or 7. Stop down here for about 15 to 16 pips, depending on my MetaTrader. I'm up in some profit. I'd have to get to yesterday's high to hit take profit. But we want to stay with that because, again, if in 15 minutes this hour candle closes like this, you know what I mean? We'll see how it, see what it does when it gets to this high. If it's through, I could take it on the hour. I don't like that big of a stop. Like a 30 pip stop. Doesn't mean it can't move. Obviously, if it's going to move, there's no problem to it. Clearly looks like it's trying to move higher. Potentially come and hit this structure up here if it is indeed moving higher. But I like tighter stop. This pair is just struggling. Struggle bus. This is easy. This is the cleanest read. Selling condition underneath this liquid 50. It was under the trend line. Odds are, probability, most likely, worth a risk on this one to the upside. Like I said, kind of came down, cradling. Overall in an uptrend. I've been screaming uptrend for weeks. Just missed it. 9:45. And that's quite the close. Let's see what's happening around the world. AU's moving up. Again, as AU moves higher, EA should technically move a little bit lower, but I don't think this pair's really got it today. Right at yesterday's high day for GU. See if it comes back, test the trend line or something. I don't know if I want to play EA. I'm not getting a great feel out of it. I don't want to get caught in some chop bullshit. This is technically a higher low if it holds. Low, higher high, higher low, rejection, rejection. Nice candle. Didn't quite get through, but could still see it move. This is pretty decent. If it's going to continue to the upside. Again, now you can see on the 15-minute how you're above this liquid 50, you're above this trend line, so maybe it's kind of like up, over, and up, but it's falling, it's sloppy. It's still on this trend line. Yeah, see, it's just kind of choppy. I need like a breakout. I don't know that's going to fall or rise, honestly. Again, overall trend is to the downside, but yeah. There's a miss right here, probably. Have to go back and watch. Retesting 1335. Yeah, man, I mean, just fuck. I missed. I don't know how I missed it. I just missed. Just like spaced out today. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sitting there like trying to find a perfect entry. And I'm like, dude, this fucking thing is falling to shit. Just get in. Worry about the stop, not necessarily the entry. Could have put it under this structure if I really wanted to, if I wasn't sure. Get in anywhere. Put it down here for like 20 pips. This thing's up 40-ish. You know, I mean, I guess this was really the one right here where I said, oh, it's kind of broke for like a new high a day. Usually you see it come back and do like a little bit of like a touch and go, and it just, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, I guess that doesn't mean that this day is over for me and I didn't make anything. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the EA. But I don't know if I want to short this. I don't know if I want to get caught on chop. This is still like choppy. I don't know. Again, I do want to stay to the downside on this, and as AU continues to move higher, EA should fall. Getting really overbought on AU. You could see correction off of this. So I don't know if I want to short into EA just yet. A little tricky. Yeah. Just one of those things, man. Just sometimes you miss. Like I said, I don't know if I want to get short a Euro AUD. Man, really nice. Really, really nice. Just missed. Just missed. Yeah. Nice 2 candle right here on the 30 with GJ. Up, down, rejection, held. 2 candle bullish. Put the stop at the bottom. Pulled back just a couple pips and then gone. Clearly this is 2R. I mean, you could see that candle's twice as large as this one. Is what it is. Try and keep an eye on this thing, but again, it's very, very, very choppy. And I don't know that it's going to rise or it's going to fall. ADR on EU. Man, what a miss. Oh, that was payday. That was payday right there. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you can, if you feel confident to sell it. When something moves like that, I stay out of the way. It's 5 minute here on EA. See how it's holding? It's kicking up, trying to. I think this is just too choppy maybe to trade. I don't want to like chase because I feel like I missed. But this thing is pushing higher. Two candle right here in a 5 minute. Is that worth considering? Into this chop. Right here on a 15 minute, you've been getting like a lot of rejection. Oops. See how it's kind of like up, pins, pins, pins. It's still in a buying condition, but it's kind of like sloppy. So I'm like, I don't know if I can take it. Trying to stay with the overall trend, which is to the downside, but this looks like it could be rising. It's above this trend line. That is a 4-hour chart though. Holding through, the hour could close strong. You might see more momentum to the upside. I don't know if EA is going to take off though. Be like a 13 pip stop. I don't know. It's like coming right back into this trend line. I'm going to take a long on EA here off this 5 minute. My stop is at 60 underneath this structure. So I'm in on this 2 candle right here, kind of up and through. My stop is down here at, sorry, I said 60, that's a lie. My entry is 60, my stop is 46 down here, and my entry is 60. See if this 2 candle ignites. Because again, I said like potentially we are in this correction to the upside. It seems like it's rejecting here. It's above. Try and see if I can get a push. I would need to get the 92, which is like up here. So it's like kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I might have just been jumping the gun trying to chase something. Let's see. Because I said this is choppy. I did say. And this candle still has 3 minutes to close, but it does look promising. We're going to try and go to, so it's a 46 to 60 is 14, so I need 28. So I need to go to basically like 88. 162, like 88, 90, something like that. I don't know, because we still got 3 minutes. This isn't breaking this trend line. I could be being a little bit aggressive. Give it a I'm under this structure. I see how it's like holding. It's trying to come up. Somehow I feel like this, it looks like it could be correct, but this is still at like a reset. It hit this box again here, again, and now maybe you're pushing. Good, try and stay with this. Starting to move up. If I could just get a quick little scream out of this, like I said, up to 90. So here's what it looks like. I'm in at 59.5. Entry price is 59.5. Stop level is 46.0. Profit is going to be 90. Like that. I don't know why it says 2.26. But that's what it looks like. That's what I'm trying to get to. Off of this 5 minute. Right here. Kind of just down, strong through, kind of up through the trend line. On the 1 minute, I think this is crap. Failed to make a higher high here, but it kind of came. Not trying. We'll see. Give it the 40 seconds. Again, it didn't break into this at all. I do see this rejection here, these pins on the hour. Does look like it could be a nice close on the hour. Now it's trying to come up again. It could just be choppy today. I hope I'm not chasing. You're short EU. Well, if EU and AU and they start to fall off a little bit, then maybe I'll get this push I'm looking for here. I'm only down like 4 pips or something, like nothing crazy. Trying to, there's your close on an hour. It's through. That's a pretty decent close on an hour. But again, it's still kind of at the bottom of this. It could just fall off, but we'll see what happens. Trying to stay with this kind of like correcting momentum. AU starts to tumble just a little bit, I don't know why it would. This thing's moving up. This could move up simultaneously too. I feel like I took a pretty decent entry. I see the potential in it. I'm right at break even right now. It wasn't really showing me that it was falling, and it's holding this structure, and then it pushed. So I'm trying to see if I can just get like a little bit like a break on it. AU's coming down ever so slightly. EU is way overextended, but we'll see how that plays out. I'm in a slight profit right now. Like I said, it was a pretty decent close on the hour. Kind of like came up, held structure through like a 3 candle, 4 candle if you want, 2, 3, 4. So maybe I can get this momentum to continue. It's through. It's in a buying condition. It's not a terrible entry. I've taken worse, but we'll see how it plays out. See if it's still carrying off of this kind of correction off of this bottom, making kind of higher trending structures. It's kind of sloppy, but I'm right at break even. I'm down like $4, $2. It's just sitting right here, so we'll give it a couple minutes and see how it shakes out. Like I said, AU's kind of coming down, but that doesn't mean that it's actually going to fall off. And that doesn't necessarily mean that EA has to move the, kind of the opposite. But like I said, just from kind of like a structural standpoint, you can see it kind of double bottomed, finding support, nice strong candle. It's moving in the right direction at least. It's in this chop, though. This could just be a choppy pair. But as long as it keeps moving higher, then obviously we're going to try and stay with it. But this thing is divergent here on this 1 minute. I don't know if this is the play, honestly. You can see this divergence here. See how this is all the way up here? And then this is higher, but it's lower. This thing's like kind of falling. I don't know about that. It's just a little choppy. Trying to stay with it and see if it can carry some momentum. It's trying to make structure, but it is just into this chop. Hasn't really pinned, rejecting high too. I don't know. EU moving back up. AU trying to come higher as well. I don't call tops, man. I try not to call tops on these things. Even though it's way OB. When you get that much momentum, I don't know. It's people. You imagine people going to take some profits at some point. This trade's a little ugly. But like I said, I do like what it did on the hour. I do see the potential. 1, 2, 3, up, through, potentially rising off of this. Kind of failed. Try and continue with this uptrend. Slightly in profit. GJ really still moving nicely. EA is in profit, but it's a little choppy. But we're trying to stay with it as much as we can. Coming in, even if I could get it to like, hit the top of this trend line, I can at least get some profit out of it, and then we can kind of play it by ear as we're like consolidating in profit. We're on the right side of the trade by like 3 pips, nothing crazy. But it does look like it's trying to come higher. Maybe it's holding this trend line here on the 1 minute. See how it's like kind of holding it a little bit. It's nice push again. It is still divergent, but we'll see. Still got a lot of time left in this candle. I don't want to close it. Because it's still rising. It definitely, it looks like it's in another ascending channel. Now, is this an ascending correcting channel, or is just like an ascending kind of going to break out? See, like how it's this little one right here. It's kind of like higher, 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 higher. Does it like go sideways and push, or is it like taper off? I'd like to see it move higher based off that hour. It's a pretty decent hour candle. And you can see right here how you kind of like, you're above and you're starting to rise. Oh no. Like I said, this could just be a choppy pair today. It doesn't really give a direction. AU, little dicey. EU higher. Supima, how you making out, man? Tell you, I don't call tops on these things. I don't call tops. It's not worth it. AU screaming. I don't know how that's going to hurt my trade. If it does at all. Yeah, dude, I lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars trying to call tops and bottoms like this. When the market's screaming, I let it scream. If I'm not in it, I just let it go. I don't try and call an end to it because you don't know. You just never can tell. Looking pretty decent. I'm up almost. It's very. I don't want to say volatile. I just have a big size on this, but I'm up about 100. So I'm about a sixth of the way to my target. But again, it's just a little choppy, and there's no guarantee that this is actually going to move up or down. But at least I'm in profit. Back in the day, we stay getting burnt. Yeah, 100%, G. For real. I lost more money trying to call tops than I can't even tell you who. Yeah, this EA trade, I like it. I like the potential for it. It's just a little bit choppy, and there's no guarantee, like I said, that's going to move up or down. But I'm trying to stay with it as long as it keeps moving higher. Obviously, I'm going to stay with it. Getting a little bit wicks here. Divergent double tops on AU and EU. So now maybe you get the fall off on EU. Maybe it starts to come down a little bit off of that. Come on, can I get some buyers on this EA? Yeah, we're starting to move a little bit. Still choppy though. This 1 minute you can see, man, look. Look at this. It's just like kind of like it's still holding this trend line. It's in a buying condition. So I want to try and stay with it. Short, like very short term. The 5 minute closed higher again. See how it's just like extending off? So I feel like I could have this. It just does it have enough in it to rip? over 100 now. So moving, we're in the right direction now. Like we're starting to get some kick up as maybe AU is starting to like fizzle, and EU hopefully is fizzling. Not real strong, man. AU's definitely fizzling a little bit. So again, sometimes they are correlated inversely. As AU kind of falls, maybe EA kind of starts to move up. You can see right here, we're just, we're in profit, but it's right here, we're at these highs now. So now I got to mark it like this. I can't deny this. See what I mean? It's ascending. We're back into this chop, but I'm at these highs of days. If I break this high a day, then we're solid. You know what I mean? Then I could probably see it get up there and try and test yesterday's, which would be like a little shy of my take profit. But as long as it's going to continue, this hour candle was really nice. Four-hour, like I said, kind of down, up, sideways. Do we get this next push to the upside? I'd like to stay short bias, but is it still correcting? It's like up, down, up, down, up, down. Like I'm up 175, I'm up 125. It's just like pew, 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 pew. I do have 3 lots on this, so I shouldn't quite look at price so much of my P&L as I should structure of the candle. Kind of barely break in, but a little bit rejection. There's a 1-minute chart, so I'm not going to put too much in it, but you can see how it's just like pulling back, like pushed up hard. 2.5 minutes. See what it does. Yeah, see, I was all the way up 175. Now I'm at like 27. See how it closes. If it closes bullish, we're good. But again, right at these highs, high a day, significant. I don't want to get short-sighted on that. AU still driving. Son of a biscuit. Look at this thing, man. EU. Yeah, I don't call tops, man. But we are in the slightest bit of profit on this trade. And I do feel like potentially we're moving in the right direction. So I'm going to hold it as long as I can until this thing really tells me like, hey, you know what? I'm not moving any higher. I'm right into this chop and I'm in with these pins. I'm playing a dangerous game with this pair. I kind of feel. But again, as long as it's continuing to move higher, and I'm going to continue to stay with it. But that's a nasty rejection in this area. Pins, 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 pins. See how it closes in a minute. This thing could push all the way up and fill this wick in a minute. It could do anything. So I want to react when the candle closes. Can I close for a new high a day? It looks like it's trying to close for a new high a day. And look, what did I say? It could come back and fill this wick in the last minute, and it's so close. Got 15 seconds. Let's see where it closes. This could be breaking for a new high a day. 8 seconds. This does indeed look like it's a new high a day. It is. It's still in these pins, but structurally, candle body, that is a new high of day. It's nice to see. Tells me that potential more continuation to the upside. It's continuing to move higher on the 5-minute off of this 2 candle. Really pushing now. There we go. Here we go. Nice. Let's get it going. Come on. See if that new high day gets it moving, or if it's just kind of like playing with my heart. Looks good though. Looks really good right now. I feel a little bit better, but I'm not out of the woods yet because again, could just come back and hit in here. Still wicks and pins, so it's still not 100% certain, but at least we're in the right direction. AU trying to come down off of this divergence, kind of correct off of that huge impulse. There is some news in 30 minutes. It is crude oil. Don't know what that's going to do to the market. Let's see if I can get out. I'm up like 2.5, 250. So we're moving. Doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. It's not overbought. It's still very much kind of choppy, but in the right direction. AU's really pulling down. Sapima, are you still in EU, man, or did you get knocked? How you making out? Talk to me. Come on, daddy. Let's go. Come on. So you got this up, sideways, push. I'd like to see another. It's above the liquid 50. It's carrying the trend line. Is this like kind of rocket ship? We did break for a new high a day, but again, we are kind of in this little bit of chop. It looks really nice on the lower time frame. I kind of broke out of this ascending channel, pinned back into it, kind of holding it. Let's see if we can get more momentum on it. Looks really nice, still in a buying condition. It's above your trend line. It's above the liquid 50. It's a little bit divergent. I'm freaking out. It looks good. I wouldn't be looking to sell it here. So considering that I'm in the buy, I should just try and hold it. But it's extremely, extremely up and down right now. I'm in still. Stop loss at 13.55. Gotcha. Yeah, this trade is just all over the place for me at the moment, but again, just going to try and stay with it as long as I can. Yeah, like AU, just this dollar index, man. 96.52. It just completely fell to shit, man. This was a real miss on EU, but looking to capitalize on EA. I'm still in profit. I'm up 7 pips, and I still feel confident that potentially this can continue. Like I said, really nice close on the hour, so you'd like to give it an hour. Dollar news is coming. It is mid-impact. Crude oil inventories. I don't know how that affects EA. So let's just see if we can get out of this trade in the next 11 minutes and not have to worry about it. AU starting to make the TDI is falling off, but it's that could just fall and then keep moving higher. You know what I mean? I don't know that I'd like to call a top to this. You did get right back up to not technically yesterday's high because yesterday's high was all the way up here, but kind of this area where it came, hit, fell. So I wonder how it handles this area again, if it has a little bit of stalling, and if in that stalling maybe I can sneak some momentum on EA. EU kind of doing the same, just kind of stalling. It's maxed its ADR. Every one 2, 3 time frames, all telling me buying condition plus the hour. So I'm feeling more and more confident that potentially buys are good on this pair. But again, it's a choppy pair. But it looks good. See how you're above this liquid 50, this trend line's rising. I made out for a new high a day. See if that induces people to get long in this pair. Like, hey, this is moving up. Let's buy this. Let's buy this. Just like yesterday when it was like, hey, it's falling. Let's sell this. Like try and see things that would get people induced into this pair to the upside. It is divergent on this lower time frame, but it does look good to keep moving higher. I don't want to call an end to this. But you can see it's like rejecting a little bit. Still 8 minutes. Again, anything can happen. I don't think I'm at a point where I'm putting my stop to break even yet. I still want to give this some room to breathe. If I start breaking structure on like the lower time frame, then I might consider you know, moving a stop or something. But for now, it's still good. So we'll see. Kind of fell back into this 1 minute ascending channel that I have drawn. But again, we want to try and stay with this as it seems to be moving higher on multiple time frames with really nice crosses too. So I don't want to give up on this. But I do recognize what I've been saying the whole time is this is a choppy pair. It's choppy. Starting to break down a little bit here on the 1 minute off this divergence. This is higher. This is lower. See what happens if it hits the 50. Did this break out? It's not really. Like kind of breaking out into an uptrend. Broke my box, hit this box, moves up, breaks out of this channel. So hit this 50 and try and drive and continue with this uptrend, or does it just fall back down? I don't know. Like I said, higher time frames, and they're giving me confidence that this was a pretty decent move. You kind of went 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you're trying to see if you can get another bit of continuations through this liquid 50 in this buying condition. How many times can I do this? Just try and flick it up. EU still moving to the upside. AU is kind of just hanging. Correcting, moving higher. Man. DXY is weak as shit. Just structure, man. Technicals over everything. Technicals over everything. Right back down here. Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Technicals over everything. So if that's the case, can I get this up to, as I'm breaking this structure on EA, can I get it up to here, to 97? Does it get to 163 flat? Does it drive up to this? Or does it just fall off and be like, nah, I'm not breaking this 50. But you can see it started to make slightly higher structure, but still technically in a downtrend, which is why it could just chop and consolidate and fizzle. So potentially I am going against the trend in this, even though it's been kind of moving off of this level. I'm looking for like the next bit of higher highs, but I don't know. And I don't know if I want to close it here either. Like I said, I don't know if that's really what I want to do. Just be like, I'll take like $100 because it's still, which maybe this news comes in and does something to it in 4 minutes. I don't know. Look at this candle. It's kind of like a whipsaw so far. Up, down, indecision. Could be waiting on news. I don't know how crude affects this. 96.80 has a lot of contracts on DXY. Yeah, I don't know, man. You were right with the news yesterday. Just still falling. You have to imagine though, man, like you're hitting these highs right here on the 4 hour, so you're really high. It doesn't mean it's gonna stop. This thing is just screaming, let it go, let it go. I'm trying to catch a rip on this and it's just not moving. It might take news. If it does take news, I feel like I'm moving in the right direction, honestly. Like I know this overall time frame is like kind of down, but you see how it's kind of correcting off ever so much, and on a 4 hour, it's kind of like I said, up, sideways, and now you're getting this next push. Is it correcting? And the correction is still in play. I'm up like $150. We're in the right direction. Or in the right direction as far as like in profit. I'm not in drawdown. Let's see what happens in 2.5 minutes. I think I'll hold it into the news. Right back into this area yesterday. See how it's pinning to this area yesterday where it fell off from? So does it come back? Is it like kind of like a big double top? But structurally, it looks like it's continuing to make higher structure. Liquid 50 buying condition on multiple time frames. Starting to surge. 2 minutes left. Minute 40. We shall see. Yeah, nice move on GJ. Nice move on GU. Incredible move on EU. Getting some rejection here on that 1 minute. Just kind of failed off. See, we're in it to win it. In it to win it. 30 seconds. I don't necessarily like these pins on the 1 minute, but again, it is the 1 minute. See what the news does, if it affects any of these pairs. Godspeed, people. Here we go. Another new high a day for EA. See how in here it's kind of like rejecting. This is a lower high. Still in a buying condition, so I'm not ready to let go of it yet. Dollar news. Trying to look at my phone and this. Bad. Bad for the dollar. I guess because it's red, it should be bad. I don't know what that. Oil I know is like CAD. They could just use the news to move it. AU still trying to move up a little bit. Like I said, it could just reset this TDI as this goes sideways and then finds another push. I don't know. I don't really want to close this trade. Do I move it to just, should I move it to break even at this point? Like, should it come back here? I mean, and test this? Like, it kind of looked like it already pinned back a little bit. So I just protect my capital in case this isn't right. Just put my stop at break even and hope that it continues off of this high a day. I think that makes sense. 162.595. Because, like, why would it come back at this point, you know? Why would it come all the way back down to here? Well, I guess it could. That's not really that far. But it should hold and create higher structure. It should, from the 1 minute perspective, it shouldn't come lower than here. You know what I mean? It's like a low, high, higher low. It should hold here and like continue. It shouldn't break this. It should move off. You know what I mean? If it's clear, if it is truly in an uptrend, it shouldn't break past that low. It shouldn't. It should just continue higher. So to put my stop at break even, I think makes sense. Because if it does break that, then I think I'd want to be out of it. I think the trade would be wrong then. You know what I mean? See how it just pinned down to like kind of here in this area. Now it's like driving off it a little bit. I think I feel confident with that. Really nice 2 candle here on the 1 minute through this liquid 50. I know it's going to be through it. Maybe I can see some. See right here. Down, strong, right to the highs. Continuation potentially. Potentially. But the stop is at break even at 162.595. Protect the capital just in case this trade is a little bit choppy. Like I said, I don't think there should be any reason that it should come back to here. If anything, I would like to, because it came back to this, I would like to see it move off of here. If it doesn't move, then potentially it's wrong, and I'd like to be out of it anyway. I think that's how I'm going to play it. I don't want to close it here for 200 because it is still moving higher and has every bit of potential to continue to move higher. So I don't think that it's worth it to just close the trade and just, take a 200 bucks and be like, I'm just going to call it here. It still looks like it's trying to move up. So I think the first step is to lock the stop and at least protect the capital and continue to see it try and move higher. Yeah, I'm still in EA, George. I'm still in it. The stop is at break even right now. Because as I'm saying, if structurally this is going to continue higher, then I wouldn't want to see it come back below like 62. It should use 62 as support and continue higher. If it comes lower than that, then I would imagine that the trade is incorrect and I wouldn't want to be in it anyway. So I'm actually going to put it at 162.60, like just a half a pip, just so I don't like lose like $2 or something like that. 162.60. Okay, so there we go. But I'm up 250 bucks ish, trying to see this continue with this momentum. It's breaking, continually making new highs of days. I'm hoping people are seeing that and buying into this. There goes a nice little surge. EU just holding. AU kind of fizzling. Looking really sharp here on EA. Yeah, there we go, Daddy. Come on, let's go. kind of hitting into the top of this ascending channel on the 15-minute, so I'm going to watch that. But we did break horizontally for new highs. We are getting up into this area, yesterday's high day, so we'll see if it has the momentum to continue up. We'll see. Again, it is a little bit of a choppy pair, but it's definitely moving in the right direction while it's chopping. It's chopping higher. EU still climbing. Yes, this trade's a little choppy. But again, the stop is locked, so I'm not going to lose this trade. If anything, I'm going to make like 30 cents, 50 cents, something like that. I'm not inclined to close it. I want to see it through. There's no exit signal for me yet, so I'm just going to see if it wants to keep pushing. We'll keep an eye as we're hitting. Like I said, we're right up by yesterday's high. 30-minute chart, we had a closure on that. Really nice 30-minute as well. I mean, probable to come higher, and I really don't know that it should come back down. It could, and I could get bopped. Because if I was taking this entry right here, I would have my stop down here at like 56-ish. But I think it's showing momentum to the upside. I don't think people are taking profits yet. I don't know that sellers are coming in. I would imagine more and more people will be trying to buy this, but they could see this top as an area of resistance, which is why I'm struggling to see it break through it. But it's rising. It's in a buying condition. Trend line is still rising. Price is still rising. So I'm just going to, it's either going to be a win or it's going to be a break even. It's a risk-free trade at this point, so I'm just going to try and stay with it. Don't know that I just want to close it though. Could have closed it for 2% when it was up at like 300. But at that point, you're like, yeah, we're moving higher, you know? So you have no interest in closing it at that point. You're more inclined to hold on to it. EU is no chill. That's why and this even here could just be up, sideways, and more to the upside. Same with AU, up, sideways to the upside, but we'll see. Correction isn't always price down. Correction can be price sideways. I'm up about 10 pips on this trade. It's just like slowly higher. Like I said, the structure's still, it's definitely divergent, but this is really decent. Let me see, like this. It still looks like it's trying to come higher. Like I said, it should not come lower than this low because it's a low, it's a higher high, it's a higher low. Now you should see more continuation to then make another higher low. So my stop loss right here at 60 should be, it should hold. If it doesn't, then I probably don't want to be in it anyway, and that's why in my mind I moved the stop to break even, because I trust that this price should be good enough that I don't see it come back down to it. And again, if it does, at that point I probably want to be out of the trade anyway, because it's probably starting to break structure. And that's how I read it. Good luck with EA. Thank you, Michael. It's very choppy, 100%. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on. Yeah, it's choppy, and I knew that from Jump Street. But as it was starting to fail to make price action lower, I was like, well, let's stay with this correction to the uptrend. I'm right back up, like I said, up about like 300. I don't want to close it from here. I want to see it continue, but we are struggling at yesterday's high for the moment. We're right up, you can see. We're right up at these highs. And we're going to be getting an hour close soon, 20 minutes. And we did get that so far. You have 20 minutes to go. Anything can happen. But we are getting that extension off of this kind of 4-candle bullish. And let's see what it does at these highs. These highs are obviously significant. Man. EU again from Monday. It's right at Monday's highs. But we did say we like this to the upside today. And you're getting every bit of it. GJ, we did say we liked it to the upside. We were worried that it was making lower structure. And then it came right back up to these highs. A little bit cleaner on the hour. Just kind of found support and then pushed. It's a really nice close here on this hour. Kind of up and through. It's a big push, so you might see some sideways or a little correction. This is just kind of, like I said, choppy. But at least choppy in the right direction. I don't want to give up on this. I don't want to pull the money yet. It still has every bit of potential to keep moving. It's just slow. Now, as you can see here, you could see that it made a square. And as it's making that square and you're seeing divergence, look at what this liquid 50 is doing. It's pulling itself into a favorable condition where you can see price action rise above it and then continue. So we'll have to see. It's staying below it right now. So maybe it just doesn't have the juice because it completely just smashed. And maybe it does fall off a little bit, maybe back to here. See, this level was sideways up. This was a level before, so it kind of hit it, tested it, and pushed off it. Maybe price can run back down to here, and in that push down, maybe EA can push up as the AUDs flip-flop. But that's not a guarantee. That's not a way to trade. But I do see that from time to time they do inverse each other. EU's just steady holding. We're definitely getting it now. Yeah, this is looking good. 350. Come on. Really nice break. Another push through this. See, it's in a buying condition. I don't want to go away from this. Strong. 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 Let's go. Come on. Keep moving. 1 minute to the candle close. Breaking higher and higher to the top of my trend line. Really, really nice. I'm not at a point where I want to lock any gains in yet, like move my stop up to here at all. I'm comfortable with where I'm at for the moment. It's continuing to make good structure. So I just want to let it ride and see if we can just get it to run right to take profit. I'm so close. I really am. And that might be because you're seeing AU fall off a little bit. So it is breaking the box. So now this is a great sign potentially for me in this trade. I'm up a little over 1R. Another new high a day. AU looks like it's shitting off, but not for certain. It kind of broke the box, but it still has every bit of potential to move higher. This trade, I think, has the gusto. Yeah, I'm close to my take profit now. I'm 10 pips away. So at this point, I think I might lock it at like 67. Which is like right here. I think that's a lock some of this trade in. So I locked in like, oh no, oh no, oh wait, yeah, I did it right. Whew. I always get concerned that I did it wrong. I was like, wait, no, it's wrong. Yeah, so I locked it in at 67. I hope that's not going to tap me. You know what? Putting it back where it was at 60. 160, 260. Because this thing might need room to breathe, and I don't want to get bopped out. So we're back to the stop at break even. It was really close. And I still think this could move higher, but I don't want to give up the potential to get tapped out. 67 is like right here. I'd like to see it hold here. But that's not a good sign. It was a great push, and now it's like kind of falling back. I was way up there, man. I was up like 430 bucks. It would see right to my trend line on this 15-minute, which again doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it could. You know what I mean? So we'll see. This trade is definitely way up and down, man. I'd be close to getting stopped at that 67. I'm at 68.5. I'd be just right now. I'd probably be getting hit for like 160 something bucks. So I'm content to lose it because I still think it could come higher. But like I said, hopefully this is a higher low right here. See, a higher high. This is where my stop is, down at 60. This would have been tapping me out right now, but maybe it is going to start falling through. I don't know. I'd like to see this be a higher low and then continue. I don't have a reason to exit this on a 15-minute play. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. We'll see if today is just as good. Like I said, come back to this area, find support, make a higher low on the 1 minute, and see if we can continue with this uptrend structure. Higher high here, higher low, higher high, hopefully a higher low, and then more continuation. I don't have a reason to exit this trade yet. This broke for another high a day. I would have got bopped if I had kept that 167 in. It definitely would have tapped me out here. You can see that would have got me out, and I would have made like 160 bucks or so, which isn't bad. But that's not my goal. My goal is up here, and I don't have a reason to exit just yet. So I don't want to give up on this trade. Now, maybe it hits my trend line and it just fizzles, and then I lose it all. But, you know, that's trading. I don't have a reason to exit yet. I'm hoping for structure to hold. I got to give it room to breathe. Wow. See how it closes in 10 minutes on this hour? See, it went all the way up and sucked down. see how it handles this area? See what it does here? Again, structure, price action, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, question mark. It should be. It shouldn't come past here. If it does, I'm wrong and I want to be out anyway. But I'm not inclined to take my profit here because that's not my target. And I don't have a reason to exit this trade yet. Yeah, it pulls down. I'm not out of this thing yet. I still got 9 minutes in this candle. This thing might just rip. Mod man, I appreciate that. I really do. These all the stuff that I do, as much as it's for myself, it's for you guys too, man. I'm trying to just show people a consistent, transparent approach to trading. I lose, I win, but I consistently take the same things, and that's why I have consistent results. And I'm hoping today I get this W, and then I'll make another recap video for you guys and show you how staying patient, trusting direction, and taking your shots, could lead to a W. So we'll see what happens. You can see it's trying. Look at this, see? Structure. It's trying to come back up. Yeah, pull down hard and you're like, oh, all my money is gone. But it's like, you haven't even hit your money yet, dog. This thing might keep ripping. This thing has no exit signal yet. It's just choppy. So I got to be willing to hang in. Trust my stop down here at this higher low. 67, I would have been bopped. So I was wise to keep it for now because it still has every bit of potential to come higher. I have multiple time frames telling me this is in a buying condition, so I'm just trying to ride that. Now, hopefully here what I see is engulfing 4 candle, like down 1, 2, 3, and then more so a 2 candle up, sideways, and then drive higher. That's what I like to see. Up, sideways, drive. Or to come back, double bottom, and push. I don't want to see it break this. I want to see it, if it does come back, I'd like to see it hold and then drive again. So we'll see. If we lose, we lose. But we're trying to stick it out. We don't have an exit signal yet. Not great looking on the 5-minute, I won't lie to you. That's not the best, but you still got 2 minutes. Hey you, what are you doing? No, don't go higher. I don't know. Stay with it. 7 minutes left in the candle. Don't get too crazy on these lower time frames yet. Don't lose sight. On GJ, 135.50 long. Yeah, long GJ right now. Potential, man. It's definitely potential to move higher. It's a little bit choppy. Everything's a little choppy right now. Especially this goddamn thing. I really want to see AU just tank off and EA go rocket ship, but it's struggling right now, man. But at least we're struggling at the top of this consolidation zone right here. Like these highs kind of like broke, retest the high, then maybe we can continue. This trade might take longer than my stream, honestly. It might just be up and down. But I like that I broke above this box and this level. Now I'm retesting this area, so I'm not scared that I'm wrong. If it breaks through, then obviously it's wrong. But if it holds here, it can still hold and move higher. So it would just be break, correction, push. It might take some time, so I might have to be a little bit more patient. I like to see my trades just take off, but it's not always the case. That 5 minutes is ugly. That's nasty. Still holding potentially here. Maybe not, though. Let's see. It's still kind of holding this low. Could come lower. I don't know. It's definitely not moving the way I want it to at the moment. But we'll see what happens. See if it holds. This is not the right way. Nasty on the hour. 4 minutes left. It's still bullish. So just because it wicked, again, right to my trend line, like right to it. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a surge. A little bit. See if it kind of holds this level as a higher low. Structure. Come on, structure, structure, structure. Like I said, everything still says this has potential to come higher, so I don't want to just say that it's done in my mind, in my heart. Like I'm just trying to read the structure. This is technically a higher high. Technically, as of right now, this is a higher low. It's just if it has the momentum, if it has the buyers. Definitely when that hit up here, I know people took profits and that's what drove it down. Let's see if people get back in it. AU is pulling down hard. Let's see if EA can move up on that. If they roll inverse. Trying so hard to stay with this, man. I don't have an exit signal yet. It's really close. I was within 10 pips. We'll see. Anything can happen. But we're protected. It's a risk-free trade. That's all I can say. I can't lose it. I'll just make like a buck or two. And it sucked because I was up a lot. But again, that wasn't my target. My target's up here. You know, this is my target, not here. I'm so close to being topped out. I'm gonna be upset if this stops me. I think it's gonna stop me out. It's frustrating. Let's see what it does. We still got some time. It's not over yet. It's right at this low. It's right sitting on it. Sitting at my entry. Breathing. I'm out. I don't know how that didn't get me out. I'm still hanging in there. It was at 60.1 and my stop is 60.00. It was 1/10 of a pip. And right here it's like 60.4. It's so close to stopping me out. It's literally retesting my entry. But this is starting to fall. I think this might get me. It's breaking structure. But unless it's going to hold this low as support and move off, I'm still in the trade. I'm still in this trade. But it's starting to break structure. You can see. See how it's like starting to make lower highs. I'm out. Good try. Didn't work out. It's a BE. Now, again, had I moved my stop, I would have secured 160 bucks. Instead, I made $10.40. But that wasn't the way I wanted to play it. I wanted to see it come up. It went exactly to this trend line. Like, that's crazy. And then completely just rejected off. It's retesting my entry. Maybe it moves up here, but I'm out. Look at that. Look at that on the hour. Now, maybe I should have kept my stop loss where it belonged. But when I'm up that high, you know, you don't anticipate this to come all the way back down here. You're looking for it to hold the structure and hold these highs, but did not do that. It may come up and it may get to where I need it to get to, but I will not be a part of it, unfortunately. So that's sad, sad face. EU is the miss of the day. Looks like Supima's probably making a little bit of profit back now. I don't think he got tapped out. Yeah, he said 55, so he's good. So he endured a lot of drawdown, but it looks like maybe he's making out okay right now for the moment. London fix at 11, understood. What a bummer. I was way up, man. I was way, way, way up. Like I said, I was up like 400 something. Just didn't look like it was gonna stop moving. It made this really strong push and it just double pinned, and right here started with this bearish engulfing. Failed to make a high. Should have been paying more attention. Like, hey, but I was looking down here at this instead of looking at this and being like, yo, this is starting to make lower highs. I was looking here like, oh, this is a higher low. Maybe it's going to hold here. And I thought it was. But it just didn't. Technically, it's a higher low here on the 5-minute as it hits this 50 and potential to come higher. See, I'd be right back up in profit. So, I don't know, man. Just, it got me. I got. I moved my stop to break even. Obviously, you can see if I had kept it at, where was it? 45, was it? You know, if I kept it down here, yeah, it was 50. Was it 15 pips? Was it 45? Or no, it was 46. Sorry, that's where it was. Obviously, it just comes right back. I'm in profit. You know what I mean? Like, we're right back in the game. I'm up, 10 pips, something like that. But I didn't play it like that. When it made that much of a push, I said, let me just put the stop in profit, because if I'm wrong, then nice, Supima's back in profit. Because I was saying if this starts breaking down, then I don't want to be in it. So, $10 for today. Had I left the stop at, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Wasn't my target. I didn't lose. Excuse me. I didn't lose, but I didn't capitalize on that push. And I should have recognized perhaps that it came right back into my channel and I had every opportunity to just bounce within it. And that maybe moving the stop wasn't the best move. I don't know. Coulda, shoulda, wouldas. When you're up this high, you're like, let's go, but what it hit yesterday's high day and kind of just fell off it. So some things I should have been more aware of. Maybe I could have just been like, yeah, I'm taking this $450 and calling it a day. But again, I'm just not trying to trade that way. There wasn't a reason to get out of it. But I'm not going to be trading anymore today. That's it for me. I'm going to slide out of here. I'll post my P&L on my Instagram. Yo, a lot of people in here today, man. I appreciate it. Pockets is short EU. Let's take a look at this before I'm getting going. You've taken a little lower time frame. 2 candle, break a structure. Maybe a stop above structure, try and see if it'll come back off of this huge push. Get a little bit of correction. Yeah, bummer, man. Bummer. It's a big miss. The EA was tricky, and I traded it really well, I think, to get that position and get it going and get into profit. But this was the move, clearly. This would have been the easiest pain-free move. Rocket ship, 4 figures on this easy. knowing that the DXY was just going to shit off. I could have been holding it. I just the way the cookie crumbles. But if you're in trades, good luck, people. I wish you well. Thank you so much for being on. Like I said, a lot of people today. Hope you got value out of everything. I'll be back tomorrow for my Friday stream on Thursday, 8:30, same time, same place. I will see you all there. CME has EU at 1273 and 1303. Yeah, bottom to top. I mean, low a day, high a day. So that's it. I'm out of here, people. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Later.